The goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
That intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
Excellent. So,
good enough for rapping.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band and show.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Like, Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
but this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot, up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar.
Tonight, the soulful, earth-bending dynamic sound of We're From Antarctica.
Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese.
And I am your co-host, David Moore.
And you are listening to
your next favorite band.
And we are recording here today in one of our favorite places.
Sure, it's both delicious and fun.
And we have a great guest. We're from Antarctica. All 5 of them are joining us today.
The entire population of Antarctica.
That might be close. And we're recording in the Flying V Poutineery to continue to promote their space, which is amazing. Live at the V.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Very cool venue that now is,
Booking
part of the scene.
Regular shows that are happening here and delicious food.
Yes. And a BYOB, we've talked about this a little bit, but basically whatever your fare is, if you're interested in having a drink and listening to music, within steps you could get to a brewery, a cidery, a distillery. Am I missing anything?
A meadery.
A meadery, that's right.
Yeah.
And that sounds medieval.
They'll get medieval on your hiney.
And I think you can also get wine from the distillery as well because
yes, you can because they have they have a relationship with the winery.
And Social Still is connected, so you pretty much could get anything, and not that far of a walk.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that has some obscure alcoholic beverage that's right out at this point in time, and we apologize for whatever Scandinavian beverage that is.
Right, and akavit, something like that. But the food and obviously water and soda here, so you don't need to have that. We're just mentioning it because very often people are wondering if those things go hand in hand. It's not that kind of venue, but it's easily accessible, and it is a BYO. So it's definitely worth your time to check out their lineup. Kind of fresh off the heels here of the summer festival season. I think maybe we'll do a wrap-up show later this month, just put a bow on the whole thing, more than Music Fest. And then as we head into the fall, maybe what we're looking forward to and stuff. But you have a show you're going to this evening.
Hours from now.
Yeah.
So
this is
technically
we are committed to the music.
Luckily, it's still considered quote a summer show, but it is. So I'm lucky enough to be able to see Band of Horses and City and Color.
Yeah, I can't wait
so
to
that'll be a great show. A little on the mellow side, but that's okay. It's perfect weather actually for that type of show at this point in time.
Absolutely, yeah. The weather today is gorgeous. So. Anyway, let's get to the music. So we have the song here that we're going to feature here from We're From Antarctica is called Fade Away.
Make someone to think I'm afraid of the space around my heart.
recording, but this is the part we'll clip out. Or we'll keep it. Either way, it'll be fun.
It's the B-roll that runs after the end credits, and then we reveal the sixth member of the band. It's like a Marvel cutscene, you know. It's like so.
It's just John again.
It's still with the wig. Always John.
He's my replacement.
So you can tell we're having a good time here. So you just heard off the top there some, not the most current music, but some pretty recent music from the band that we're interviewing today called Fade Away. Welcome to the show. We're from Antarctica.
Hey, how you doing?
And thank you all for joining us. Really love the opportunity to always shine a light on our amazing music scene, because we have a great one here in the Lehigh Valley. And then the farther echoes you do, surrounding, obviously, you have between here and Philadelphia, you have Jersey or whatever. It's a really thriving, vibrant scene of massively different genres. And so that's what's so cool about Bethlehem, Allentown, Easton, and all of the different musicians and such that you're one of them, and really honored to have you on the show today, and hoping to shine a light on how great your catalog is and point out all the brand new music that's about to come out.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Very excited.
So probably the best thing to do is to kind of start off with going round robin around the tables for you all to introduce yourselves.
All right.
Yeah, I'm John. I play lead guitar in the band.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am Chris. I play drums in the band. Hi, my name's Mac. I play bass in the band.
Hi, I'm Paco. I play rhythm guitar, and I'm one of the singers not in the band.
Oh, plot twist.
And I'm Jess. I sing and I play keys in the band.
Nice.
I'm not playing anything in the band currently. Currently, maybe. Look, if they need someone to step in, I'm waiting for the tap on the shoulder.
You recently did have that comeback. We should talk about that.
Yeah, no, it's not this
different
conversation.
episode. Stay tuned for that one. But so basically, what we always like to do is start by going back to the beginning. So if I understand it right, Paco, Chris, you started the band in or coming out of high school, right?
In high school.
In high school. Yep.
We started, I think, as another person in the scene. I'll actually shout them out. Is Milan. Milan, in high school, we knew them, and they decided to, form a group. Long story short, we were like, let's just make an indie band, and then we kept going in high school, playing a lot of Sweet 16s and basement shows.
Art galleries.
Yeah, a lot of art galleries.
Nice.
Shout out to Connections, a great early spot to play in. And it wasn't until around the end of high school, late college, did we start to develop this lineup, which I would consider the classic lineup of We're From Antarctica.
Nice. Anything to add to the early days?
Yeah, it's 2014, so it's been 10 years now. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean,
it's
having
fun.
Interviewed tons of people who don't make it that far. It's really a testament
to put up with somebody for 10 years, let alone be in a band with them, is also a testament in itself.
Seriously.
Phil and I are almost there.
I mean, we've lived with each other, so a lot of it is just, I think, we both wanted to do the same thing for pretty consistently. We've had a lot of people come in and out of the group, and actually the name of the group itself came from an older lineup because we were all different background, different culture at the time.
Sure.
And Asia was already taken, which I've already said on there. So I got.
But they didn't say we're from Asia.
Yeah.
They just went right to.
Well, I could say that for
Asia.
myself there. I can't speak for the collective.
Yeah, I don't fit that category.
They also have better lawyers.
A few more dollars. Yeah, I am our legal team, so they've got a lot.
By golly, that's why we have all those legal streams over in. I forget the country.
Norway.
Yeah.
Huge Norwegian contingent.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
The Norwegians are always into that.
Yeah. We just picked up a subscriber in Singapore, so I'm just saying.
Nice. All right. Awesome.
We have one in Germany and another one in Singapore now. We're next thing you know, we're going to be internationally huge.
Branching out.
That's right.
I was about to say.
That's true, though.
It's right.
It's really funny when I see that. I'm like, what? What? You just look at numbers and you're like, wait, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see that all the time with our Spotify. Sometimes you're just like, why are we in Finland?
Was it Finland or Denmark?
It was one of them. It was something cool.
Someone Shazammed you in IKEA or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be sick.
Pretty amazing.
Made it to IKEA.
That's actually
That's the goal, really.
That was one of our biggest goals growing up. Is just like being in an IKEA store. Yeah, we made it. Guys.
Yes.
IKEA, if you're listening.
But if you don't mind, take it a little bit farther back. Paco, we'll start with you. Where did you find music? Like, how did you find, like, what instrument did you start with? Like, what's the origin story of?
That's a loaded question.
Love it.
Happily to unload that baked potato.
Or tater tot.
Tater tot. I just had that.
That's
I'm
right.
a fan of potatoes. My family actually, I'm from the Philippines. My family's actually historically been in the arts. Like my dad, his name's Ryan Regino. He's actually done a lot of acoustic R&B singing. You actually can find him on Spotify. He does a wonderful cover of I think it's James Taylor of Pooh's Corner, and he does Stevie Wonder. He does Knocks Me Off My Feet. And I think that was been a constant present in my life, as well as my grandfather was also a guitarist in his heyday, and my grandmother, only until recently, was a jazz singer in Japan. Actually,
wow.
She played a lot of standards. She was always asked. So that constant musical presence, whether they wanted me to be a musician or they wanted me to do something else, that was always present. So, long story short, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, like the music video, when I was really young.
Sure.
Got really inspired. It was like a fire waking up in me. And, been this way ever since. Started with singing and then added some guitar because I said, well, I want to do something else besides just singing. I want to learn something. So currently my rhythm guitar fanfare that I really love currently is Corey Wall. That's the big one that I want.
Corey's
to
amazing.
Mm-hmm. He is amazing, and a lot of his work is in the right hand, and I think I find that more fascinating than on the left hand. But I could do the hopefully. So.
Those are technical terms.
Yeah. You know my music theory is up there. Skibbity doos. Something like that.
Yeah. Chris, how about you? How did you find music?
Yeah, so when I was very young, I have some vivid memories of just pulling out pots and pans and spoons and tapping.
So
on
a drummer
stuff.
from the beginning.
Yeah, through
nice.
and through for sure. And I expressed from an early age that I wanted to get into drumming. And my parents were like, let's start with piano. So my mom was learning.
It's quieter.
It's much quieter.
It's still a rhythm instrument.
It's in percussion. Technically percussion.
Yeah. Which I do appreciate, but I only did for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I got through the kids' books, and then I got through the book that she had for herself, and I was like, I want to drum. So then she was like, all right, when you get into 4th grade, you can join school band. If you're in that for a year and you still want to do it, I'll get you a drum set.
Wow.
That was a lie. It took 2 years, actually. But then I did get my drum set. Thank you, Mom.
There you go.
And,
just wanted to point out the fallacy of parenting.
Yeah, there were lies. But anyway.
Welcome to family life.
And then what made it worse is I got the drum set and I was like, I'm not touching that thing till I get lessons. I don't know what to do. So then in 6th grade, I started getting lessons, and from there went to School of Rock and then the Lesson Center. And while I was doing all of those things, me and Mac had an early band in 8th grade, and then just kept doing some side projects throughout 9th grade and whatnot. And I think when I was in 10th or 11th was when we started We're From Antarctica.
It was Lunette Loney and then Dreamweaver. Oh no, it was
White Elephant was the name for a bit. Yeah.
And then Dreamweaver. Oh no, it was Dreamweaver first and then White Elephant.
Yeah, sure.
And then
it's too long ago.
We have one of those very complex rock-friendly trees.
It's on the board behind you there.
Yeah. I brought the whiteboard.
He does have a whiteboard.
Yeah, but it's just.
I appreciate a band practice with a whiteboard. I do.
Separated from the chalkboard.
He's our whiteboard specialist.
That's true.
Legal team and whiteboard team.
Yeah.
He does both. He's good.
Legal team and TED Talk aficionado.
Exactly. So anyway, that's how I started.
And drummer in the band. So who joined the band next? That's how we'll kind of progress.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Nice.
That
All right.
was me.
Nice.
Yeah. So I played in like heavy bands growing up in high school. I ended up meeting both Paco and Chris in high school. We played in completely different sound. Like obviously our sound right now is closer to what they played back then. I was into metal, and that's what I was doing up until high school. Got into a few bands, played for a while as a vocalist, and then I got out of high school. I did a few things, and I came back, and I had no band, I had no nothing, and I was hanging out at Chris's house, and he was like, hey, we would love for you to play with us. We have lead guitar open and bass open. And growing up, like, I had similar kind of like background as Paco. My grandfather was a musician. Like, he played oldies, he played at Carnegie Hall, he played out in Vegas. Wow. Like, he played at a bunch of different places. And as soon as I said the word guitar when I was 7, he threw me into lessons. Immediately didn't care. He was just like, all right, you can pick up something big enough? Okay, start playing it.
Right.
So I always played guitar. I knew how to do vocals, but I never played bass. So I was just like, you know what? Learn something new. Why not? I'll pick it up. Never touched a bass in my life beforehand. I was just like, how hard could it be? It's 2 less strings. I can do this. No problem. And then I learned playing with your fingers is hard. That's a little bit different than a pick. So I had a lot of humbling moments starting off.
Sure.
But yeah, that's how I ended up with these 2 doublets.
Check out Authors of the Tragedy.
Oh, don't do this.
And
Oh, no.
And Limelight. Yeah.
So is Limelight a Rush tribute band?
It is not a Rush tribute.
I was going to ask.
That is the number one question we always had, and the number one answer was never no. It's always no.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's...
Or you should have said, come see the show and find out.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'll answer it all at the merch stand.
That's right. But we can link to that stuff, so we can find those and link to it.
Yeah. That's when I had long flowing hair and everything like that.
I remember that. I remember those days.
I miss those days. Because they're very fondly.
Absolutely. So who was next?
Yeah, so unlike Paco and Mac, my family wasn't very musical at all. But it was always like something, it was just something that I kind of gravitated towards. So like when I was a kid, I wanted to play drums, and my parents did give me a kit, and but I didn't know, I didn't know what to do with it, and I was just all day. So they took it away. They're like, no more of this. But then growing up, I was just, I did school band, I did a little bit of this and that. And when I was like 14, I moved to a new neighborhood and had no friends. I didn't know like anybody at the new school. So I was on YouTube, and I found Rage Against the Machine doing Killing in the Name of live. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. So I grabbed my mom's like dusty classical guitar, and I just started playing from there. And then fast forward, like a mutual friend of ours. Chris went to go like scout colleges in Pittsburgh, and a mutual friend of ours told him like, got a buddy who's like looking to, be in a band or something. So, did you reach out to me, or did I?
Well, actually, I think I was supposed to reach out to you, and I took too long. So
maybe
I reached out to you. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So
you were dealing with all the legal trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's a very busy man.
Yeah. Studying for the bar. Yeah. But yeah, I reached out to him, and it was funny because at the time I was playing drums in this like punk band, and that's what I wanted to do. Like I had stopped playing guitar for a while. So yeah, I messaged him. I'm like, he told me they were looking for a lead guitarist. So I was like, I could play drums. He was like, that's my job.
Wrong person to say that.
Get one thing straight. Don't talk to me like that.
It was a pretty nasty email.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
But yeah, I was like, whatever. I guess I'll do lead. Like, I just wasn't like too passionate about guitar at the time. And but joining the band, like once I jammed with these guys, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Like the style of music, I loved how passionate they were about it and serious. So like that just sparked like a whole new love for guitar, and like I just haven't been able to stop now. So
awesome.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to join the band.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I still want to play drums.
And Jessie.
I play keys, so I started at a very young age on a little, like, 1 octave, like 101 Dalmatians piano.
Nice.
Like a little plastic, you press the nose and it lights up. And I'm like,
yeah, sure.
So,
gotta start somewhere.
I know, right? And I love that thing. But I would, like, hear songs at, like, church or something, or out on the street or whatever, and then, like, play them back. And then my mom was like, okay, like, that's not normal-ish. So, like, a few years down the line, she ended up getting me, like, a keyboard. And I was, like, writing poems and songs and things, and, like, I mean, like, earlier than 10 years old. And, like, I wrote my first song that I recorded at, like, 10 or whatever. Like, we had a friend that had a studio in the garage, you know, and...
Love it.
Yeah, so, I was just always writing. Like, I really couldn't tell you how it started, because always, you know, writing and playing. And then, and then I went to the arts high school, and I thought I was going there for, like, songwriting, but then it turns out it was, like, classical music, so then I was all of a sudden doing, like, freaking Rachmaninoff and like 14 pages like memorized type stuff, and I was like, yeah, I learned a lot from that, and I guess that's
and then how'd
my
you find
story.
the group?
So I was going to NAC, and it was like a weird time in life where I was trying to find people to talk to, and I was like ready for something else, and I didn't have any bands at the time. I had been in a few bands over the years and stuff, and I just had nothing to do. I was doing open mics with guitar and, you know, whatever. And then I saw them standing outside smoking on campus, being delinquents. But they really were like the first people that I went up to in college and tried to talk to. I was like, you know, what are you?
They smoke. They're cool.
something about it.
One leg up.
You must be musicians.
Yeah. Something's not right about these kids.
The greasers.
But yeah, and I went up to them because we were going for film and radio and stuff, and I was like, what do you plan on using your degree for? And they're like, oh, we're musicians. And I was like, oh, really? Me too. And they're like, yeah, we're looking for a vocalist and a keyboardist or a female voice or something. And I was like, whoa.
I happen to know somebody.
Yeah,
let me get my lawyer.
Yeah, but then so I was mostly talking to Pac at the time, and he was like, you should come to band practice. It's 5 guys like in a basement, or 4 guys in a basement. And I was like, great, I will not be going.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like something I don't want to be at.
My choice of words. My choice of words doesn't reflect the song.
Yeah, but then I got to know them more. And,
she stopped by a show actually at the Ice House.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw them play.
Oh, fun.
So yeah.
That's cool. Well, thank you for sharing all of that. And then, so those first couple of songs, tracks, albums, and such, like, talk to me about that time frame. Now you're coming together as a 5-piece band and kind of those early writings and such.
So Porch Light was our first EP. That was written mostly by, initially by me and Paco. We had like a 10-song album. We pulled 5 of the songs and like kind of did it with the 4 of us before we had met Jess. And we went to King Studios for that one.
Yes.
That one was like music already pretty much done. We just kind of had to like, you know, flesh it out with the 4 of us and whatnot. So there's some very fun things we did in that album that we don't do live. Used like a 5 or 6 string bass.
Yeah, there was a song that we had on there that they wrote previously that we never practiced. I only heard a little bit of it. So they tracked the entirety of the song and then was like, hey, it's time to play bass. And I'm like, okay, it's time to play bass.
Here you go.
Oh, cool.
You play bass.
And there was a 5-string. So I kept the 5-string bass, learned like and made something on the spot immediately. Maybe like half an hour of tracking. Sounded cool. Forgot it in a half an hour.
Sure.
Just have never played it since. We recorded that one time on a 5-string. Was just like, okay, we're done. I just never have to touch that song again. It's fine.
It's a really fun
For
little
future
story.
for reference, that's I Don't Mind off of Porch Light. I think that's the one song in our catalog we never played live.
You never played it live.
Literally never.
I didn't even do anything on that song. I didn't play guitar.
You should have played bass, dude. Someone would have remembered it.
It's interesting.
That's fun. And then, so where does it go to from there after Porch Light?
Yeah, so
you got it.
Okay.
So you're already talking. Go on.
So we went from Porch Light. We started writing The People We Knew, our first album, which we recorded at the Shards with Matt Mulchaney.
Yes. I was hoping we would get to that because it's such a little gem in Bethlehem.
It's a spot. Beautiful spot, dude. Yeah. And that one, I feel like that probably took a little while too. I kind of don't have a good memory
The
of
actual
that.
recording?
The actual
Year and a
recording.
half, I think.
Year and a half.
Maybe.
It's like
Something
20,
like
because we finished, we put out Porch Light at the end of 2017. So it was like from there until July of 2019 is when we put out The People We Knew. So it's a good year and a half or whatever, 2 years since we that started like writing everything out, and that place is so great. We're always calling it a musical playground because there's just so much stuff you can just find and add, and you know, Matt has a great ear for stuff like
so
that.
Good. Yeah,
so good.
It was I think like that moment in time was like super formative for us because we were just figuring out how to play with each other. And, like,
I was there for like a month.
Yeah.
Like, and then we were in the studio. Like,
by the way, we're in the studio during songs and snacks.
Yeah, we really had a time like that too. Like towards the end of the album, we were like, okay, we have a set amount of songs, we need more.
Yeah.
So literally, there was like, what was it, a week where we tried to like create a few other songs and throw them last minute onto the album. And like a few of them didn't stick, but one actually made it on there. But we were just trying to get as many songs on there as possible. Yeah. So we were just trying to grind, be like, all right, this sounds good, throw it on there.
I really didn't think that last song was gonna make it either. The last one that we wrote was Love Space, and I was like, this one's not gonna make it. Like,
was that the last one?
Yeah,
it was that
the
song
very
and a few
last
other
one
songs we
wrote
never
for it.
released.
Yeah.
We
We
just
recorded
like,
a little-known song called Anxiety that we never released. You'll never hear it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll stay hidden in the archives forever.
It's my alarm clock every morning.
It's a great way to start.
I want to bring it back.
What do you wake up to? Anxiety. Yeah, don't we all?
Genuinely.
My pick of the day.
That album was fun. That was like, again, as John was saying, just like the first time we were trying to learn how to play with each other. Because like with writing it and not really having like the best chemistry like to start off with, and kind of like having that grow, it was very much so like we're all so focused on our parts that it was like we weren't actually doing the best service to the song. I still think like the songs on the album are great and they're fun and it really reflects the time that we were.
You can hear it in the songs.
But like even to a certain degree, like you can listen to it and be like, okay, well a lot of parts kind of like overlap over each other because we didn't know how to like take a step back.
It felt like more and more like, and like especially at least from my perspective, being new, it was like, what can I add? Like, you know, like I knew how to write songs and I knew how to, but it's like, how do you jump into a place like they're already ready to
jumping in
record?
the stream
like
that's already flowing.
So
it was a little tough to get that rolling, but like that album was fun.
Yeah. And Matt really let us helped us explore like our sound and like any wacky idea we had, he would make it come
so
alive.
creative.
Yeah, there were definitely moments throughout the recording of that album where we were all like, whoa, you play that there? And
honestly, all the songs, you're like, wow, Chris, you like do this filling. He's like, I've done it for like a year.
Hearing parts in isolation like that sometimes are a little unnerving. Where you're like, wow, that part's really great. You're like, yeah, I've been standing next to you for the last 6 months playing that.
You guys are actually good at your instruments. Oh.
John says, when did you play guitar?
I wanted to play drums.
There's a few things we're definitely not letting go of.
John's first solo album.
I play drums, not in the band. That's awesome. That'll be the album title. But so you also have, I'm sure it's around this time frame where you're getting really nice accolades because you were like a XPN choice and you're getting records, played on radios, and so like it was a really good time. For you all to kind of establish that what your vibe was and what you were bringing to the community.
Sure. Absolutely. We just wanted to play. That was the main thing that we always wanted to do, was we kind of sat down after the album and be like, okay, so what's the next step? And we never really knew.
Yeah.
It was kind of just like, okay, the only thing that we know is let's just play with people, talk to people that are already in the scene and see where it goes.
Sure.
And that's pretty much just like the building point of where all that kind of like kicked off.
Yeah.
We were able to play at a bunch of places inside of the valley, meet a bunch of different people, and again, branch out from there. Play in Philly, New Brunswick, New York, go out west, go play in State College, and just start to grow and but the main crux of that was always just like, hey, we have these songs, we like playing them in a basement, let's play them on a stage.
Yeah.
and see who we can meet along the way.
That's awesome.
So just like that's even like right now. That's like we have obviously a few different things in motion comparatively, but it just try to get onto like different stages, talk to different people.
Yep.
And you never know where it's going to take you next.
Yeah.
I think it's the most exciting part about it. It's just like one show could lead you to talk to one person, and then we're on a completely different trajectory.
Totally.
And it's so interesting. I love it.
And I want to jump to this song. I think it's more current, is Misdirection.
Oh yeah!
So that would be our first single right after the album, The People We Knew.
Cool. So I'm going to play it here so that you can speak to it, because in addition to it being an amazing song, it's an amazing video. And I understand it's inspired by Danger 5.
Yes.
Which is an amazing rabbit hole to go down.
Yes, it
so we're going to link to some Danger 5 too, because what I learned about it through this, and I'm like, holy smokes, that's hilarious.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We premiered it at the Maze Theater, the music video, and like we had friends, family come over, and like it was fun. It was great. But we were like, let's play an episode of Danger 5 before
awesome.
we. And then we were all sitting there like, this is a little bit more crass than like. It's
a little bit like Nick, it was like the late night stuff that maybe got a little close to probably should have been on cable television.
Adult Swim side of things.
But hilarious. It's so funny. And then I had to like remind myself, I got to get back to prepping for this interview because I was having so much fun watching Danger 5 clips. It was so funny.
Quirky.
So let's take. I'm just gonna hit play on the video here because. There's obviously an inside joke on beans.
We had a bean era.
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd come back to this.
There's a holiday song we have. It's our only holiday song, and it's about
It was a school
beans.
project I had to do. And last minute we didn't have words for it, and I was like, whatever, just do something because I need to turn this project in.
Awesome.
It was a Christmas song about beans.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
A lot of I think the bean era is actually attributed to the lead actor here in the fur
villain,
coat, our buddy Frank,
Mr. Action.
Mr. Action himself. I think he perpetuated the bean era with a lot of jokes. So we felt it fitting at the time to kind of put him as a villain because he's a very theatrical person, if you will, or would I say iconic, or dare I say
infamous?
Infamous, yeah. On this one we also worked with the lovely Haoyan of America.
Yeah.
Which was such an honor.
Yeah, that was a cool story how like you wrote to them and then they got back to you that they wanted to be a part of it. Like that's such a
it was like a shot in the dark because he did a lot of the music videos for this band Crumb that's pretty established.
Yeah.
And we were just like, why not? Let's just ask him. And he was down. He was
just like, you had to just come pick me up from New York.
And funny story about that. We took my car, and I was worried about parallel parking because it was a one-way parking on both sides, whatever. And I was like, someone else do it. I have a backup cam, but I was like, someone else do it because I'm a little nervous. Right. And like, Chris was like, I'll do it. Sorry, Chris, I'll
do it.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
I'm the lawyer.
So
just
he
sign this
parallel parks and he hits a fire hydrant or something, or what was it, a fence?
It was a fire hydrant.
It tears off my bumper. That's the first thing this guy sees of us. And we're about to drive in from New York to Pennsylvania.
Outside of his house, walking up there, over here is a thump, bang, and we all turn around, and it's just Chris like, just sitting there, just shaking. Just like, there was a guy working on his motorcycle that was like, "Oh, you're so fucked."
I was like, how did I know you were gonna do that? I would have done it myself.
Listen, I could have done
myself.
I am a passenger prison. Okay, I don't want to drive. Yeah. But also, I did offer.
You did it, yeah.
But it just clipped back on, so all was fine.
Yeah. Nothing was lost that day.
I cried a little bit, but.
Yeah. Well, drummers do hit things.
Yeah,
so.
you do. What did you expect?
That sounded cool.
Someone track that.
Hope we're recording. So back to the video. Amazing, just hilarious elements of psychedelic drugs and international spy fighting. Did someone get the belt around their neck? Is it?
We were really getting.
She actually.
We were getting beat
it was
at that point.
because I jumped in the end. I'm like, I didn't get beat up.
You missed it. There was a clip where she walks, like she's about to walk in, and she punches one of the henchmen, right? And she actually clocks me in the face.
She was
genuinely first take of it comes up right in the nose. Bow! As hard as she could, and I actually stumbled, and that's a shot we kept. It was so authentic.
Right, it's method acting.
Exactly. Another thing, too, for Danger 5 fans out there. It's the second episode, is what we reference, where they're in Antarctica, where they meet a band that was in, like, that had monkey masks, and they were just half humans, or, like, talking monkeys or whatever, and I was like, couldn't we do this? And we were all like, let's make sure that it's just as funny, so it hits the right
Yeah, when I was watching the trailer for it, I noticed that they were like coming up with all the settings they were in, and one of them was Antarctica. I'm like, oh my god, it's perfect. Obviously,
that was mostly him. He was the one that
did the research
got us
for that one.
Yeah.
I did, and I remember like when we pitched it, we were like, we really thought you could have your visual style here, and honestly, as the shots came out and the concept,
he got it.
He was wonderful to work with,
Yeah.
And forever this day, I think I'd like to work with him.
Oh yeah.
He was just the nicest guy. Like on top of being so talented, like when we dropped him off, we got to really sit with him and talk. And I've worked with him like one time after, and like he's just the best guy you could work with. Like really.
He slept on my couch. It was great.
Picked him up, gave him a place to stay.
Yeah. So laid back. So like, oh yeah, we're just doing it. Like,
That's awesome.
Not even work. Yeah, he's great.
That is so cool. Yeah. Before we get to promoting the stuff that's about to come out, I did want to talk about this thing that happened over the summer. There was like this, the emo rock, emo punk musical, Ocean Avenue.
Absolutely.
So this was a pretty cool thing that went on at the Ice House. Back to keep, we always love to promote the Ice House, and so you were like the orchestra, if you will, of this musical.
We were the pit band for it. Yeah, it was so interesting. So how that kind of started was we played at a different spot in Bethlehem named Sokals, and it was like a cover band night. Right?
Oh, no, you saw us at Sherman.
Was it Sherman?
Yeah,
my apologies. Yeah. So,
but we did do that.
It was still like an emo night.
Sokals will come up next anyway. So we're good.
Someone else take over. I already made a mistake.
So at the Sherman,
reshoot the whole thing.
Yeah. There was an emo night at the Sherman that we, were able to headline as we sold the most tickets at that front, and
the Sherman in
Stroudsburg.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, the actual theater, and it was a lot of fun working in that space with that crowd, and the guy who wrote it, Barry, was in the crowd, and actually we happened to do a cover of Teenagers by My Chemical Romance, and I don't know if my shirt was off that point. But
He was like, I love the song. Love the bottom. Here's my card.
He was very impressed by our dedication to the song and how well we performed it. So a couple months later, he hit us up. He said, "Hey, I'm planning to do this musical, and it's pop punk." And we were like, this is a cool opportunity, so we had to do it.
Right.
And in doing so, especially I think these three are very into or at least brought up with a lot of that music. So it was nice to reconnect on that level. It was new for me, actually. I never grew up with that influence, but I grew to really appreciate a lot of the musicness, but also just the attitude and the culture that surrounded it. And you could see that with the passion of all the fans that came out.
It was pure nostalgia.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, that was the best part. Everyone that truly showed up for the musical, again, grew up with this music, and for it to be just something that's never been done before. Obviously, you've heard these songs through speakers or anything like that, or seen them live, but to actually take them and put them into a musical, with everyone there was so excited to hear these songs.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite part about it, because obviously, as Paco said, the three of us grew up on these songs. They're great for us, but the people out there being oh my god, they're about to play the first note of Black Parade, and just looking out and just seeing people just yes.
Sold out both nights. It was crazy.
It was insane because it's again, we played a bunch. We've done a million things, and that was just so unique. Playing all this music, but being in the back of it. It's just very interesting. It's odd not to have the spotlight really on you to a certain degree. Sure. But oh man, we got a standing ovation the first night, and it was surreal.
Both nights.
Both nights. But the first day it was just surreal.
Yeah.
It was just
everyone was standing and singing, and it was the place was packed. It was crazy.
Oh it was slammed, man, and it's cool. It's the best way I can describe it is just cool. I'm so happy we worked on it.
Yeah.
And it's just songs that I would love to just play more of. Yeah. So we might add those into our sets, maybe. Maybe sprinkle a little My Chem in there if I get my way.
We have done it before, so
we'll do it again.
There you go. You heard it here first. So let's move to the upcoming music. So now back to Sokals. We can talk about it.
Yeah, there we go.
There is the live at National Sokals show that's coming out. That's on. That's the album release show? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to highlight this one. We'll touch on some other shows you have coming out, and the music comes out slightly before this.
Yes.
But I want to make sure people know about this because Sokals is a cool place, and obviously it's a great spot to support your efforts in releasing the new music.
Absolutely.
So that is on Friday, October the 4th.
Yes.
Correct.
And it's $10. And who else is on the lineup here?
My cousin's girlfriend's house and Just.
Very cool.
Both really awesome bands.
Nice.
Really cool.
So we will link to all of that in the show notes. But let's talk about the new music. So we have the new music coming out September 27th.
Yeah.
So this kind of right off the heels of that. But yeah, you have one single out. Is it one or
We
two?
got three.
Three?
We got three.
Phil, do your research. And the fact that it's in there.
Just keep making the number bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
We have.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I could have edited that out, but we'll just leave it. So anyway, so there's 3 singles out, and then the full album drops later this month, and then the album release show. But talk to me about that. Is it like when I listen to each of the different albums and music that's out already, there's evolution going on.
For sure.
So like, where is this headed now for the band and the sound?
This one, I think, honestly, like, I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but it feels a little bit like matured. Like, at least in just the way that we approach the music. Like what Mac was saying earlier about the people we knew. Like, we were just throwing stuff at the wall and just seeing what sticks. This one, we actually, like, sat down and were like, let's do less.
Sure.
You know, and we talked, and our producer, we recorded it at a headroom in Philadelphia.
Nice.
With Kyle Pulley.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was awesome. He was awesome to work with, and we told him that, like, tell us when we're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he did such a good job.
Yeah.
And like,
I would bet the time with Matt allowing you to explore and let you find where your pocket is.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
how each of you could be there for each other
Exactly.
as 5 musicians.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe unsure of where to put your foot. You
Yeah,
become,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
And it was still even like in the studio. It was weird because it was even taking back more than we thought. Like for you, like sometimes it'd be like take out that one hit or like that one spot or like, you know.
Yeah, there were a bunch of changes to the drums, but it all came out like so much for the better.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it's crazy how much taking out little pieces really adds.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
It truly does a service to the song.
Yeah.
Where I think that was the main goal that we were going with, because like this is a collective of songs that we've been writing for years. Like through COVID, since we couldn't play, all we had was a place to play and all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So we wrote, I think the top number was 37 songs. I think it was 36 or 37 songs that we narrowed down to 7.
Love it.
Like we were able to actually like go through all these songs. Some ones that we like first started playing with are on the album. Some of them, you know, at the very end of what we were writing. But like even through that time, we were able to grow and like hear these songs and be like, okay, let's start to tighten this up. Let's all be in this part and be more unison.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the main thing with these songs. It feels like a collective.
Yeah.
Like each song feels whole and everyone has like their own parts to shine. Where beforehand it's like, I think the music is good, but like again, we might step on each other's toes. Now we actually allow spotlights to happen. And like I think that just it lends itself to the music beautifully.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to actually have all this work come out because it's taken us a bunch of years and a lot of time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
From song conception to now.
Yeah.
But I also want to say that Kyle really helped us peel back in parts of songs where we were like, oh, we don't even really need to be doing this section.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to make this song.
The whole organization of the song itself.
Yeah, just cut out, shrink stuff down a little bit, and like it's just a much tighter, neater package that's all the way through very good instead of being like, you know, like, I don't feel about that bridge there.
I think like what Kyle also gave us was a discerning level of like how to be conservative and like as we said like making sure that what we do services the song. But I think importantly he showed us that even if you play 1 or 2 notes, you got to make them count and the way to play them. I think he tested all of us. I remember like vocally like it pushed me and Jess like to places like where he's like, for me, he's like, oh, he'll say, try this inflection, or maybe try doing it this way, and like I think more so than ever, and then like breaking it down like piece by piece. I remember for one of the songs, like he really pushed Jess for.
It was literally like, was it TV Dinner? Like
Yeah,
line by line, and it's weird because like I feel like my mindset before was like I have to be louder because I'm like generally pretty quiet.
Sure.
You know, and for that song, I think in particular, TV Dinner, he was like, "Can we go quieter? Even quieter? How about we do a quieter take?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "This is so weird."
That's super fun.
Yeah, but it was definitely pushed us.
And we're going to play that. So we always play a song like we played when coming into the interview. We always play one after the credits.
Yeah.
And we're going to play TV Dinner from the NPR Tiny Desk concert, which also is a really cool... you did that in the public library.
Yeah.
So we've got a very cool recording studio in our public library that's free to use. You just got to sign it out.
Exactly,
So I like shining a light on that too. Isn't it called Studio 11?
Studio 11. It's Tuesday, actually.
Oh, fun.
Demos.
Yeah, and I always love around November we always point a light on 11 Fest because it's such a fun.
Yeah, we did that one year.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It's so nice over there. Like the studio is really well made.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
fantastic.
It's a great resource.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to have something like that available to you. Yeah, like you said, all you have to do is sign it out.
Right. Yeah. That's it's a testament to the community of music that we have here that our library would care to do that.
Right.
People are genuinely using it.
Yep.
And it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are there.
Yeah. So stick around for that. It's a great song, and you also get a peek into Studio 11. But before we wrap up, anything else you would want to make sure we promote? Anything you would want to? Is there a special handshake? Is there anything that show up at shows to make sure people know?
We do got a couple shows coming up.
Yeah, let's talk about the new shows coming up.
Okay. Yeah. So we're playing
off the top of the dome.
I'm totally not looking at a phone right now. We're playing September 14th at the Barn on Brad Street. You'll have to DM us for the address, but definitely come out.
Yeah, that's a cool
it.
thing. So this will come. This is Wednesday night, the 11th. So that's this weekend. So if people want to check that out. What city is it in?
It's here. It's here in Bethlehem.
Okay.
Just DM us for the address. Anybody and everybody's welcome. We're also playing the 21st of this month at West End Food Festival in Allentown.
Nice.
That one's going to be really cool. We're headlining that one. So, we would love to see everyone come out.
Yeah, come out and eat.
Listen.
Yeah. Nothing better.
And there's a lot of good bands playing too. So, just come out and hang out.
Yeah, exactly.
And we got a couple others, but just
follow social media.
Yeah.
We'll link to the website and the events page and stuff here, so people can check that out.
Yeah.
We're from Antarctica. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Woo!
David.
Philip.
We're not from Antarctica?
No, we are not.
And technically they aren't, but yet they are.
That's complicated. You'll have to figure out why their legal team decided that is the name that they're working with.
I was hoping... Back to the legal team. I love a running joke. But
we're going to drive this one so far into
right
the ground.
Into the ground. Yes, you're going to either love it or hate it. Probably hate it. But the thing I was thinking about was is there a hazing period when you become a new member of the band? Where are you from? Allentown. Not in the band. Where are you from? From Antarctica. Yes, you are.
Yes. You've welcome to the cult. I mean, the band.
Sign here. Awesome conversation. What a great little
easy conversation.
Yeah. We could have gone for another hour.
Without much effort. They were very kind. They gave us both the backstory and a lot of sort of insight into their process, which is really great to see, especially from a band that consists of 5 players with 2 different singers. So, all of that pays off.
And it is true. And again, you would hope this is the case, and it probably is for many musicians who are moving into a third album. There's evolution and maturity, their word, across them. But if you don't see that, then they're probably not long for the industry. When you do see it, you want to just see where they're going to take it. So really interesting to listen to their early stuff, the last stuff they put out, and then this new stuff that's pretty amazing. So.
Right, and just to reiterate, the new album is September 27th. Yeah. So check that out.
It's and the album release show, if you're in the Lehigh Valley or nearby, is on that Friday, October 4th. But sounds to me like they're going to start gigging a little bit more regularly. So hopefully we can get more and more chances to see We're From Antarctica.
I hope so, too. It should be great. Maybe we'll catch all of the Antarcticans.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
Hi, we're from Antarctica. That's our desk, and we're going to be playing our song TV Dinner for you today. How long have you known? Is it the way that I'm acting? 'Cause I think I just wanna go home. Dinner by the TV, just wanted something easy. Fighting the urge to say something to you. Is it wrong? I'm passing you smokes in your car, and I think I've seen this in movies, but I always get past that thought. I'd be doing better, giving into pressure, sitting in my dark room, the peace of what we go through, fighting the urge to say something to you, ignoring the breakthrough. I think you're breaking me in. Oh, I think I wanted you in. I think I wanna be left alone now. Visions is painful within, and I've got something to work out. I couldn't face you or anything. They say it gets easier, but once the words talking about, I think I wanted you in. I think I wanna be left alone now. I think I wanted you in. Think I left it all crashing. Patience is painful within. I've been fighting the darkness. So, the last one, are you serious? Oh my god. Yeah, that was a good one. I dunked up some of the end, but I just kind of ended up.
I didn't even notice.
Whew.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yay! Okay, is that all the time we have, probably, or?
I mean, we got like 15 minutes.